Hello. Oh, that seems hot again. How's my audio again, guys? Is it screwed up again? How you doing, everyone? Mikey's. Why is it doing this? Just a moment, everyone. Okay, that's got to be better. La 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 la. I think that's better. Very good. I don't know why it's. That was the same thing we had last. Can't hear you. Can you hear now? That's the thing that happened last week. Just set to a weird default of this as one of the webcams. I don't know. Good. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back. I'm gonna move this camera a little bit. How you doing? How's your week been? How's it been? Shadow Guy the 14th, thank you very much for the follow. I think I still haven't set up all the alerts for YouTubers, so if you do end up, subscribing or something, I won't pick up on the stream yet. I've still got to figure this out. I'm still figuring out all of this. This whole restream thing is baffling me sometimes. There's a lot going on. I didn't realize, I don't know, there's some weird setting where I tried to start a new stream and it didn't start in the way I thought it was going to start. I ended up using a lot of the default settings I used from last week. I don't know. I'm so confused, but I'm just an old guy now, so I'm confused by technology by default now. That's how it works. Audio sync is a bit off for some reason, really. Maybe it's a little bit slow, maybe. There's probably, I have also increased the bitrate. Maybe this will affect things today. I was trying to see if we can get a better quality stream, because it's pretty awful quality I have been streaming at. Mostly because I wasn't so sure how well the internet would handle the stream quality. Hopefully it's a bit better. About, really? Half to a second ahead of the video. Is that for everybody? Does everyone have like a desync issue here? Or is it just you hear it as well? Oh my gosh. Just 0.2 seconds? Is it awful? Like, is it something I need to stop the stream to make work? Or is it okay for today? And we'll have to figure out what it is. Maybe the Wi-Fi could be. The bitrate seems fine. Maybe I didn't change it. It seems to be the same bitrate, actually. So maybe I haven't changed it. Maybe I wanted to change it and I didn't change it. I don't know. How you doing, Jay? My composition Rise of an Emperor is absolutely must. Well, thank you. I had a lot of fun writing that. That was many years ago. How long did I put out Rise of the Emperor? Whew. That's a long time ago. That was at the time of the first Oblivion, not the re-release. A little off-putting, but not really restart worthy. Okay, thanks. I'm sorry about this. I don't know what's causing it. Looks perfect. Thank you, Bar. You know how to make me feel better. I know I'm on YouTube, but I can still see you, Enderblade. Yeah. No, I'm trying this restream chat in my screen today, so I can try and track everyone all at once in the same window, as opposed to having multiple windows open. It's awful chat to read though, so I have to kind of I'm like my old man eyes, can't read some of the text, which is a bit awful. Maybe if I can increase the size. Look at that. I'm at the point in my life now where I have to increase the size of text so I can read it. But it's awful colors. They've used awful colors. Like the names of your all your names are like this light gray against a dark gray background. Like, why? Why would you do that? You can't actually read the name. You need contrast. Contrast. Anyway. Hey, Peach Pants. Peach Pants. What a great name. What a great name. How you doing? Absolutely adore tight. Listen to it every now and then. Thanks, Hugo. Appreciate it. Desyncing is obvious unless you look very close on a larger screen, so it should be a big deal. So make sure you jump onto your phone. Maybe that's the best place to watch this. To watch this low quality stream. On a tiny screen. Sorry about it. I have to figure out what's going on then. I don't know if it's been a thing that's been happening every stream and people just haven't said anything. I'm curious. Don't even know how to fix that. Does anyone know what might be causing that? I have no idea. I mean, it could be the restream. Like this is the new thing in the stream setup. So I mean, who knows what restream does to the audio video thing. Got the last two streamers, no issues. Okay. I don't know. Hey, confusing. Use one of my videos. I used Rise of the Empire in a video showing your characters becoming Emperor in Skyrim. Nice. No, just credits fine. That's all good. Guardian, you did great. Could be the dual streaming, yeah. I mean, I'm using Restream as this really quick, easy way to try and get a double, like, stream to Twitch and YouTube done. It's like throwing money at it. But I could actually try and figure out how to do a dual stream from the PC. But I'm afraid of writing music on the stream with a big template, and then trying to also run two streams at the same time off it when encoding a stream. I think it'd be bad news. I think it wouldn't work. At least I'd run into some sort of issue. I guess I could get another computer, be my stream PC, go all completely pro, but I don't think it's really. We're just chilling here, you know. We're not hardcore gamers. We're not, running a stream 24/7. So I don't know. We'll figure it out, I guess. I met you through a recommendation of a YouTube channel, YouTube video called Childhood. That's one of my tracks. Yeah. Then we were listening to music every day. Thank you, JS Rocker. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I write a lot of nonsense. And Childhood is one of them. It's a nice track, though. It's a chill track. No any problem? That's right. Clearly, it's for the discerning eye, there's probably issues, but for other folks, maybe it's just fine. So we'll just live with it for today. We'll figure it out off stream if I find the time. The problem is I tend to I turn the stream off and then I go and do other work, and I completely forget all this stuff I need to do to keep the stream updated and running. I keep on forgetting to do it. Not trying to become the number one subscribed streamer on Twitch using the power of melody and harmony. No, I don't think that's ever going to work on Twitch. I'm sorry, Oof. It's not going to work. Things would have to change quite a lot, I think. I think YouTube people are more active than Twitch, but I think so too. I also have a bigger, more subscribers on YouTube. Hey, I love you YouTubers. You're awesome. Thank you for subscribing, really. Appreciate it. Hey, I never showed anyone, but I ended up at the beginning of 2024, I got this. I got a plaque for 100,000 subscribers. I did it. And that was all because of you guys. So thank you. I appreciate it. But I've been hiding it from everyone. I haven't really told anyone about it, but it was nice. Get to put it on my wall. OBS has a plugin Atom, which is a free option, but it would send out 2 streams. Okay. The problem is I'm using Streamlabs at the moment, so for some reason I started using Streamlabs when I started streaming, and I haven't migrated everything across to OBS. I want to, so I've got to put some time into this moving things into OBS and setting it up, because I think OBS is better for the long term. It'll be there's a little bit more flexibility in what you can do with it. Streamlabs is very like, you must buy the things to make the functionality work. There's no real like, bootstrapping it to to make something work. It's after midnight. What? Oh man, thank you though. Thank you. I'm gonna have fun. Today we're gonna work on. So I've been working on a fantasy style track. It's kind of like a, Zelda-ish, Studio Ghibli, Joe Hisaishi kind of track. I don't know. It's just chill. It's chill and fun and all slightly sweeping and orchestral, and it's got woodwinds and strings, a bit piano. So we're just gonna continue that. I'm feeling like we're near the end. I've got to work on the final section today. And then maybe we'll have time to tighten everything up, and then it may be nearly finished. Then we'll have to do the mastering. But we probably won't do that on stream, because that's a challenge to do when I'm trying to balance audio levels and things. Stick it on the fridge, exactly, Pija. It's such a great name, Pija Pants. It's like every time I see it, it's like, oh, you got me. You got me. Smart Sky, thanks, man. Thank you. It's not. It's amazing. It's really, really cool that the channel has gotten to this point. Like, it's like insane that I never thought it would get there. But it did, and it's very nice, and I appreciate it. It's also just a number too. I've got to remember it's just a number, Thanks, man. Have a good one. Sleep well. Catch those Z's. Okay, so today, yeah, as I said, we're gonna work on some. Oh wow, this chat doesn't zoom up. Oh, maybe I can. This chat sucks. Restream. I don't understand why you think this is good. Maybe it's just because it's supposed to be embedded somewhere. I don't know. I don't understand. Killy's Gaming, thank you for the follow. How you going? I might have to figure out another solution here, I think. But it seems like my YouTube page here is not also working. So I can't actually run the live chat there either. So maybe I'll just have to I'll just have to live with it today, maybe. Make sure so I can't scroll back up. So if someone says something and then it goes too fast and I don't see it, we're in trouble, because I can't see it again. But it's right. I'll just have to keep an eye on it. Ah, Achilles. Okay, your guardian. Very good. Follow me everywhere. Sounds good to me. I'm the guy that makes great music. I make music. It's up to you to decide whether it's great music. But thank you. Yeah, I am. I am the guy that makes music. That's true. All right, let's do some noises. I'm running late today. I'm sorry for starting the stream. I usually start around, I don't know, somewhere between 9 and 9:15, but we were having a few issues getting started today. I was trying to figure out. Also, I have to remember now that YouTube has thumbnails. YouTube likes the thumbnails, and I have to figure out what a thumbnail should look like for a live stream for music. So it's not Jay, have a good one. Good to see you, buddy. A lot of compliments on my streams for my music. Oh, really? I mean, it's a mix of various others, but I think I have more of mine. Nice. That's cool, Smus. That's really cool. Riddick, hey, I'm good. I'm alright. I always find these streams a bit harrowing. Particularly, I'm starting to do these multi-stream things, and so I feel a bit frazzled at the beginning because I don't know if it's going to work properly because things go wrong all the time. But I think it's working now. I think we're getting there. The thumbnail should include a lot of no blocks. You're right. That probably would get a lot of clicks. I think you're right. I think you're right. Every night I hear my music being used on TikTok. That's cool. Yeah, I come across my music in the wild too. It's wild to find it in the wild. It's really strange. Really strange. Okay, let's do some music. What's the button? Full one at a time. Okay, so we've got the chat above my head here. If it gets too much, let me know. But it's a cool way to because you actually get to see, what YouTube's saying. Twitch gets to see what YouTube's saying. YouTube gets to see what Twitch is saying. So maybe we'll just try that for now. 2 voices again. That's right. This happened last time too. Just a moment. Do you remember what fixed it? I forget what did it. Two voices. One voice. Why does the settings do not stay? Why do they not stay? Built-in chorus effect, exactly. You pay a lot for that. Pay a lot for a box that does that, right? Not really. You don't do that anymore. No one does that anymore, Scott. No one buys boxes to do chorus effects. Much better, nice. Okay. All right, so let's have a list. I think before I start, I think I did something stupid with the basses. So I'm gonna redo this. But it's not, I'm gonna use that one. I'll reload this solo strings bass. And then we can hear the track. Then we can hear what it's doing. And then figure out what needs to be done. Riddick, thank you so much for the 10 euros. This is the reason why I think I need to not use Restream chat. It doesn't seem to come up with those things. Thank you. Thank you so much, Riddick. Appreciate it. I'll give you a thumbs up. Yeah, okay. Just give me a moment. I'm gonna have to bring up the chats here because this Restream thing is just stupid. Why do they think it's good? I don't understand. Pop out chat. Yes. Great. See, that works. And then Twitch. There's Twitch. Yeah, this is better. Okay, thank you for your patience. So much chat. Hey Miller's girlfriend. I need a name. That's gonna call her the girlfriend from every time. Did you do Tavern Song? I did. There was a track I just released. Actually, the most recent track in the library is called Honor Amongst Thieves. And that's kind of a tavern brawl kind of track. But it's not really tavern-y. It's not like sitting down and having a pint, in fantasy world. So that's not quite that. And this one is fantasy, but it's not like typical fantasy, it's more like Studio Ghibli fantasy. So it's not like medieval folk vibes. Okay, let me just check this bass thing. I was working on the bass thing, right? You guys can hear that? Let me just check. Let me just check that things are... Oh yeah. Nice. Oh, I moved the thing. Sorry. Whoops. Whoops, let's lock that so it doesn't happen again. Noyan, how you doing? Noyan. How are you going? Okay, so let's have a listen to this and see what nonsense we have. Okay, that's pretty much what we got. That's pretty much what we got. So I'm thinking like this track doesn't need to do anything crazy. So I think what we're going to do is just have like a return to the main motif and then kind of have it sort of calmly, you know, float off into the sunset, I think, somehow. So that's the plan today. And then clean it up a bit. Before I get to that though, I was thinking this transition here might need a bit more work with the strings. Where is it? Just here, I think. So let's have a listen to this. Oh no, not that. Where is it? Ah, here. Thanks, Leisure. Excuse me for being new to this, but what program am I using? I'm using Cakewalk, it's Cakewalk Sonar, which is it's kind of like Cubase, kind of like Ableton. So there's a lot of programs that do similar things like this, sort of MIDI sequencing, audio recording. It doesn't have a lot of samples in it, like instruments. In fact, any. It doesn't have any, probably. So all of the instruments I'm using inside it are things that I've bought or found over the years, but they are but all these programs are compatible with working with Sonar, which is great. Has Zelda vibes, exactly. I did an album of Zelda music, like rearrangements of a lot of the Zelda scores in this sort of style of like that, Studio Ghibli's Joe Hisaishi kind of vibe. Oops. But I haven't really done much in this style for the library. So this is the idea, is to start sort of adding a bit of that vibe into the library as well, because I kind of like chill music like this. It's just nice. It's just nice to write and to float along with, I don't know how useful it is for anyone, but, that's the whole point of the library, is for me actually just write things that I like. And you can find, if you decide it's useful, you can use it. If you don't, you don't have to. There's no pressure, right? Yeah, Cakewalk's good. It's been around for a long time. I've been using it for over 20 years. And so I feel very, very wedded to it because it's like, I've had this long history of using it, and I have my ways of working with it. I have been contemplating jumping ship, mostly because it's, it has been a while since its heyday. And I don't know whether it's, it's the perfect program for the kind of work I do on it, like these big, orchestral templates. I don't know whether it's really optimized for that. So I worry that maybe I should be, might have a better experience using something else that's more suited, like maybe Cubase, or Reaper or Studio One or whatever. But I don't know. I'm still using it. You're gifted an Arturia keyboard. Nice. I don't know how to record with it. You just use Audacity. Okay. So, do you know what brand it is? Because it should, if it has like a USB in, like a USB cable connection, you should be able to, like what model of it is. It is. Because if it has a MIDI in, you can, like a USB cable that you can plug in your computer, then you should be able to connect it to a program like this or whatever to sequence stuff using MIDI. That's definitely probably an option. I think it's been a long time since keyboards didn't have that functionality. But if it's also a synth, then you might also need, if you want to record the sounds on the keyboard, you may have to have a different situation, like running an audio output back into your audio interface or something. It can get pretty complicated, this stuff. All this hardware routing, it's a bit nonsense sometimes. Did low-end PC MIDI controller and sound card enough for making music? It can be R8, yes. Depends what you want to do. But there is a lot of sample libraries and synths and whatnot that don't need a lot of overhead. They don't need a huge beastie computer. And if you're happy to write smaller works, then you can definitely do it. But if you want to do really big orchestral templates, it gets a bit more challenging. Mostly because you just need we need a lot of RAM for the computer to store a lot of the samples in memory to play back in real time. You also need a lot of hard drive space because sample libraries get really big, and then you do need a lot of overhead, like in CPU sort of terms. You do need something that's reasonable, particularly if you start getting heavy into all sorts of effects and reverbs and whatever. But I think there is a thing to say about minimizing your setup. And I actually wrote a couple of tracks. I went So years ago I was doing science research. So I was writing music, but I was primarily a researcher. I was postdoctoral researcher. I was working in Sweden at the time. I actually did a trip back here to Australia, down to Sydney, to a university there. And at the time I was still writing a lot of music for the library, and I didn't want to stop for it was 2 months I was here, I think. And so I still wanted to produce music for the library, but I had the problem with that. I only had a laptop, a dinky little laptop that wasn't very, well equipped for the kind of work I normally do. And so I still installed everything that I could. I found some smaller libraries that I use a lot, and just focused on using those libraries for a couple of months. And I actually wrote a bunch of cool tracks that I'm really proud of, that have done really well. So if anyone's familiar with my track Undertow, I think it's one of my most played tracks, most used tracks on the internet. But it is one of my most popular tracks, written on a laptop in a dinky room, at a university whilst I was on a university research trip. So it's you don't need a ton of stuff to get something. I think most of that track as well is done with free samples as well. So that's something. Free samples that didn't require a ton of overhead. The Dinky Collection. Exactly, Linja. Exactly. G'day, Alan. How you doing? Do we start a project with template of loaded VSTs? Generally I do. Mostly because I just don't want to sit here forever loading instruments. That's an effort in itself. So I have a template that has pretty much it depends on what I'm doing, what kind of sound I'm going for. So if I'm doing this track here is more, sort of conventional orchestral sound. So I've got a template that has more of a, the full orchestra with winds, brass, percussion and strings into sections with all the samples that I would need, all the articulation, sorry. And then I just start writing. So I don't have to worry about what do I want to write with today? Everything's just there, and I can choose what I want to use and what I don't want to use. And it's fine. Then I got another template for chamber strings. That's sort of more smaller ensemble kind of sound. What I'd use maybe for my piano, my ambient piano tracks that I quite often like to do. I've got one for I've got a game I'm scoring at the moment called Menace, and I've got a template to ensure that I've got the same sort of sound across all the tracks. I've got a template set up for Menace as well. So I just load that up when I start a new track, and so I'm using at least I got access to the same instruments, same samples, same synth sounds. Any programming that I've done for those synths is all ready to go. I don't have to sit there and tweak everything again. So templates are great. If you're not using templates, if you want to do this and if you're new to it and you're thinking, that time saving things, templates are just gold. They're really gold, and it's just really easy. You just have to spend an afternoon setting up, how you would want your instruments to be, what kind of things you want, and you can just save it as a template, and it's done. It's so easy. What? There we go. Actually, I might just cut that and then we can reprogram that as we play the next bit. I might just repeat. Let's do that again. Just a little bit of a layer. Don't need to do much. So we want that little moment there to be kind of like a point where it inflects a bit. Plump, 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 plump. I might drop that a little bit. Oh, it disappeared. What chord progression is this kind of song? It's a good question. It's kind of like a kind of a weird one. There is a seventh in there. It's an F. A major F major 7 with a raised fourth. So it's like a augmented fourth. It's mostly sitting in F for a lot of it, and then we sort of get to a different chord progression for the middle section that goes from F down to E major, E minor, F, E minor, and then D. I don't know what the root is. I guess it's F, but it feels like it's almost in C, but it's like using F as the fourth chord. It's a bit strange. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. And why I do it. It just happens. It's the problem with me. I did theory, did a lot of theory, but I don't really use it. I just kind of work on instinct, and sometimes I don't know what I'm doing, you know? F major 7, 11 chord. There you go. Thank you from the hip. See you soon, Enderblade. Enjoy your shower. And then we've kind of modulated here for this final section. I'm trying to figure out whether I should stay in D or whether it should actually drop down to G. Well, Smarts, it does help for writing quickly. I don't have to over analyze anything. I just kind of do, which is great for like working on projects. Because if you're trying to get something done by a deadline, then you just need to do it. But sometimes I wish I just had more understanding of what I'm doing. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of smart musicians out there who know exactly what everything they do, and like it just makes me feel inadequate. But I'm fine. Really, I'm fine. Yeah, the imposter syndrome is real, my friends. It really is. Yeah, having good instincts is good to do this kind of writing, this kind of way. And you do have to develop them. But it just comes with practice too. So I feel like, there's a lot to be had. To just like, I think I talked about this last week. If you wanna get good, I think you just need to do a lot of it, because you learn as you go. At least it's what happened for me. I did do a lot of, like, growing up. I learned on the piano, did a bit of music theory. I did a music degree, so I went and did a music degree at Queensland University of Technology, but it kind of didn't help me. It wasn't really. I was not really ready for doing that, and I got through it, but I don't know if I took anything from it. But for me, composing music, 100% has been just me sitting down and making stuff. And then making it again, and making it again, and making it again, and making it again. And, taking forward, and it's making sure as well that you have this sort of loop learning, like this sort of you're looking back at what you've done, assessing what worked, what didn't work, and then taking what you've learned from that track into the next one. And then just keep on doing that. And trust me, over time you will just improve by just being reflective of your practice. This is what it means to be like a person making stuff, is you reflect and you grow. And anything. I mean, it applies to anything. But we'll talk about music, and I think that's relevant, definitely relevant. Intro, build, movie or song? Orchestra? All of those things? I don't know. This is just it's like a sort of a fun little chill fantasy track for the library, so it's not for anything in particular, just for kicks. So let's just do that. Let's just do that. I don't know where we're going. Where are we going? It's really loud. Beep, beep. Okay. Do I work with simple? I think they use some of my tracks, but I don't necessarily work with them. Yeah. Oh man, you can chill out a little bit. What's going on? How do we... Oh god, here we go. I don't know how to... Okay. We did it. Let's do this again. So what was the... See you, I'd have a great one. Oh yeah, King Elvis. This is Cakewalk. Cakewalk Sonar. Sorry, I missed your message. I like it. I've been using it for so long that it's hard for me to change now. But it's probably just as good as other doors. It's like these are all very. You know, the choice here is it's kind of arbitrary. It's finding one that you kind of like a program that you like to use. I think that's really more important than what the program is. So there's a lot of programs. Obviously, FL Studio is one. There's Ableton. There's Cubase. There's Logic. If you're on Mac, there's was it Studio One, Reaper? They all do the same thing. They just kind of do it a little bit differently. So it's kind of finding one that you like. Started on Sonar, went to Logic when you switched to Mac. Okay, fair enough. I use Logic. I used to work in LA years ago doing like film trailer stuff in a studio over there, and I was working in Logic there, and I hated it so much. Felt so different to Cakewalk. At that time, it was like maybe really early, the first iteration of Sonar, maybe, I don't know, or maybe it was still Pro Audio. I don't remember. So many years ago. So I wasn't a fan of Logic, and that's probably just me though. I felt so much stuff. It's probably changed. I mean, Logic, it was like 20 something years ago, maybe 15 years ago. So it's probably different than it was. Maybe we should have one more pass of that. British Gaming Black, how you going? Hope you're good. I hope you're chilling. Oh, where's the click gone? I hope you enjoy the crow. These crows, these mornings, just lovely, 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 beautiful voices. I really enjoy working with them. It's a good thing I don't do a lot of recording, to be honest. You love the crowbar? Very good. We should just invite them in at this point. It's their stream. I'm actually on their stream, to be honest. You spent time with Glenn Ballard and allowing you to use Logic. So when he switched up to Mac, he just went, I just went with what he was using, yeah. It's fair enough. I mean, it does help. It does help when everyone's in the same ecosystem, particularly when you're working in like a shared environment with others. I'm going to do all this again because I want that more of a roll. That, what do you call that? Gliss? A gliss? But not too much. And then you've used them all from the hip. Oh my gosh. Digital Performer. I forgot about that one. That was one I was years ago I was thinking about. Because there was a lot of interesting like video sync stuff. So when it had like a little interesting tools to do, particularly do a tempo between hit points. That would have been, you know. So maybe I should think about that one too. Totally forgot about Digital Performer. I assume it's still going strong. And with speakers, do we need to sit in a precise position to get the optimal sound from them, or is anywhere in the room as good as anywhere else? I mean, it depends on the speakers, but I think it does pay a little bit to actually position the speakers in a way that they are optimized for your listening position. Depends on how critically you want to listen, and how important it is, but yeah, I think it is important, but it also depends on the size and the make of the speakers as to what that position might be. So I'm using Atom A7Xs, and they're to get them to a position that was right for me to sit at a desk properly. I actually have them on stands behind the desk, so they're sitting on like their own speaker stands. Also, that's good for isolation as well, just to have them not off a desk that resonates so much. So they are sort of meter and a half on me, maybe meter, a bit over a meter, and at the same sort of angle from my listening position. And this is just from like the documentation I think that Adam sends out with it. This is like how it should be positioned. So it's like I'm just following their instructions. But I do notice that like if you walk around the room, you know, there is big differences in how the sound emanates, like what you hear. You know, obviously because the room is different as well. And if you walk into the corner, there's going to be more bass frequencies. So if you stand out of the direct line of the tweeter, you'll get, you know, very few high frequencies, blah, blah, blah. So it's like being aware of those things. I think it is important to keep that in mind anyway. For years I didn't worry that much, mostly because if I'm working with samples, it's not super critical. Like I'm not spending a lot of time EQing violins to get the perfect sound out of them. I just use whatever comes out of the box, add a bit of reverb, and it's done. Like this kind of work, it doesn't require a ton of like super critical listening, as opposed to say someone who was working purely with like audio, you know, like they're recording a lot of stuff and then they're using, you know, a lot of EQing tools and, you know, whatever compression, everything to get everything optimal for the mix. Whereas I don't really do that. You know, I've got a kind of like set and forget kind of mentality. So I know how these instruments perform, and so I know that, you know, as long as I do the same kinds of things to them, they won't sound that awful. And so there is that sort of, you know, that idea that I don't have to have a super critical, perfect, flat, you know, room that I have absolute confidence that this is what the instrument sounds like, because I know they're going to be fine. But if you are doing more recording, I think it's really important to get a better setup. I do also use, so I've got this program here called Sound ID. So this is a program that comes with a mic. So where is it? So you buy this program and then they ship you out a microphone in the mail. So you get this. Oh, maybe I should go to full screen. So you get this. It's like a little microphone that you sort of use in the room. And you essentially go through a sort of a setup process where you use the mic to essentially figure out the response of your room. So it figures out, and particularly the response of your room in the context of your speakers. So you're using your speakers to play various sounds, at different frequencies and in positioning them in the different parts of the room, and then it figures out this response curve. So with this, you can see that there's a big. If I turn this off, so this is without. Oh, sorry. Go back to the screen. So this is the program, and it figures out this response curve based on what it hears, and there's a left and a right. You can see there's a big bass spike at about 130 hertz, which is pretty typical for a boxy room like this. So it essentially allows you to calibrate your speakers' performance based on the room you're in. And so you can listen to your music in a more flat response. So I use this because I just kind of hate those, trying to deal with those bass frequencies in a mix. I never know whether I'm doing it right. So this is really good. So if you've got the cash and you're interested in it, I think it's a really good option to sort of fix that. You can also do this. I got a setup for my headphones as well. So I've got a pair of Beyerdynamics, and that comes with out of the box a response curve for that. So again, I can get a more flat response when I'm using them. I just have to make sure that I turn this off when I bounce tracks. Otherwise, it will add a weird EQ curve that people will probably not enjoy. Anyway, it's great. It was something I invested in last year for the first time, and I think it has really helped. At least with just battling rooms that aren't really made for the kinds of things they're doing. I don't have all the cash in the world to put down on making the perfect studio environment, so I have to live with what I got. But it's a good way to get around it, really. Anyway, am I back in the same window again? Yes. Good. All right. Very good. So we're missing some. Movie, thank you for the subscription. 43 months. Whoa. That is a long time, my friend. Trying to get the voicing right. Okay. Have this never used it because you don't need it because you got headphones. I mean, I struggle with headphones actually. Like I've got them, I use them on occasion, but I get headaches. I just don't like working in headphones. I need the air. I mean, they're open, so there is airflow, but I don't know. I just don't like headphones. Not for long periods anyway. Much to the annoyance of my wife. So we share a workspace. We've got a separate space from our home, but it's kind of still open sort of area. So my wife works on the other side of the wall. She's got an art studio, weaving and all sorts of stuff. And I work in the little gloomy box in here. But it's like there's no real doors properly doors. It's a weird space. Hence the reason why I need the sound ID really. But I don't like working on headphones, and it means that the sound carries. Particularly when I'm working a lot, it's kind of probably not great for her, but she says she's fine. But I think that's because she just wants to keep the peace, maybe. In tracks like this, you don't mind. When I start doing like weird sound design stuff, it gets pretty annoying pretty quick, I'm sure. Missed a question, but which scoring libraries do you prefer? You use LAS for general string use? I was always tempted by LAS. I never went down that road. I actually use a lot of performance samples, so particularly for strings. That's my current setup. I'm using a mix of the Vista strings and the Pacific strings. I love the Vista strings. Like, I think they're such a workhorse for me. For particularly these kinds of tracks, those sort of sweeping string lines that have a bit more. Like they need to have feels more. They bring the feels. It's a really great library. I've also been tempted by, and for the rest of the orchestra, I'm mostly using the East-West stuff. Actually, it's like the Hollywood orchestra. So percussion, it's a bit of a mixed bag. So there is some Pacific brass from performance samples, particularly for the French horns these days. But I don't know, most of the rest of the brass, I really love the East-West. It's really warm and flexible. I really like it. For percussion, it's mostly East-West, but I've got a few stuff from the Museo stuff, the Cine samples. And then I use the Sinner samples, like the Sinner winds for the woodwinds, because they're really lush and lovely and very performative. Yeah, everyone sleeps on the East West stuff. I think they've got a weird reputation, but I don't know, they're great. I've been happy with them for a long time. But like with everything, like these are just tools. So if you find something that works for you, then that's amazing. There's no reason to actually I don't need to do that. It's fine. There's no reason to just choose something because someone else does. Like they think it's good. You choose something because you think it's good, and you make it work. All these tools, you can make them sound good. You can also make them sound horrible. It's up to how you use them, and it's really, really critical to figure out how to use stuff. Otherwise, the most expensive libraries in the world can still sound pretty awful. See you, Linja. Have a good one. Thank you. I will enjoy my stream. Thank you. Where's my gongs? Here. You mainstream to contemporary stuff when necessary and less always worked. Oh, that's perfect then. Yeah. As I said, it's like as long as it works, that's really what matters. How you use it is very important. But I mean, Lass is great. I mean, I remember those demos from back when it's Lass 2 now. Like, it's been updated, I think. But when I was really, like, you know, had my tongue out, oh, it's so good. Those original demos from the first Lass, like, that was that sort of inflection point in sample development, was like, well, this is the next level of string programming, you know, like, this is where it's gone. It was really, really pretty. Almost to that point, it's like, this is real. This is so real. This can't be samples. The waveform is actually, it's like a live preview. Oh, sorry. It's a live preview of the master. So it's kind of seeing the audio playback in real time. So I get to see what the, you know, what the levels are looking like, that sort of thing. Oh, I remember those days. Yeah, the Vienna. It was like the gold standard in sample programming. Definitely. What do you reckon it is these days? Like I asked this a couple of weeks ago in Twitch chat, and you're still there, chat. But it's like, what is the gold standard now for like a, you know, an all-round orchestral library? Because you used to have like, you know, you have these sort of entry-level ones, and then it used to be this, you know, you have to fork out for this, you know, tens of thousands of dollars for this like super high-level sample library that would accomplish everything for you. And I guess that was Vienna for a long time. Vienna was like the, it was like the, oh, I got roses, thank you. Thank you so much. But I wonder what it is these days. I mean, I know the Berlin, everyone's pretty happy about the Berlin orchestral library stuff from Orchestral Tools. Is that where it's at now? Or is it just like what I'm doing now, just kind of like cobbling together small libraries into one big one? Do a trill. A trilly DD. Not really gold standard anymore. Yeah, it's what it feels. It definitely feels like that. Yeah. I don't know. I like those days where it was just simple. It was simple. You know, you just had to get this one library and then you're fine. I spent so many years using one sample library, and that was the Edirol Orchestral Soft Synth. Does anyone remember this one? This was it's a little old now. It's a little old, but it's a product from Roland. It was a very super lightweight orchestral synth, essentially. I don't know if it actually had samples. I think it was all more modeled sounds, I think. Maybe there might have been some samples in there, but there must have been very very low quality, because the wave files must have been tiny or something, because they were, you know, they used some sort of compressed audio, because it was so lightweight. Like it was like maybe, you know, 300 meg on your hard drive. Like it was crazy. And I used that for years. I was having so much fun with that. It's like my first real library that got me into orchestral writing. Yeah. your own Century strings, but it feels, to be honest, daunting to install and learn it. Yeah, which is that's a big hindrance, right? Like you just wanna get stuck in. You don't want to have to spend time figuring out, you know, the language to run it. What did I do at the beginning? Not much. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? It's a tiny, tiny little library. And it didn't sound that bad. I actually have some tracks in the library, I think. Let me if I can find it. So there's a track in my library which is kind of like a I had a phase where I was kind of really into Edvard Grieg for some reason. Don't ask me why, but I was kind of like, I'm gonna write a series of tracks based on The Hobbit that would it would sound like Grieg. And so this is the, where's my window? I don't know where to put this in the chat. Where's the thing? Sorry guys, this is so confusing. This whole restream thing is just nonsense. I'll put it in both. I'll put it in both chats. So this is a track. Listen to it, you know, at your will. You don't have to or not. It's called Concerning Hobbits, but it uses the Eterol orchestral subsynth. It's like, it's not awful. It's not awful. It still sort of still holds up. It's definitely not to the standard of the stuff I'm doing these days, but you know, of the time, like that would be 20 years ago at least. Probably more. Oh my god, I'm so old. The passage of time is cruel, my friends. So maybe I'll do the melody. Yeah, it's not so bad, eh? It's not super awful. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. How does the melody go? Had Horizons randomly yesterday. No way. Fellow producer's like, man, this guy gets it. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. Larry said we were in LA, likely in LA around the same time as well. Very, yeah, interesting. It is a small world. Good old LA. Did you like living in LA? Because I hated it. I hated that town. Did not enjoy it. Thank you. It was creating such great music. I really love your work. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy it. Hey, Enderblade! Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? What am I doing here? Okay. Let's just cut that a little early. You love LA? Cool, that's good. Defy a human to stay in Santa Monica any length of time and dislike it. Okay, well, I was in North Hollywood mostly and commuting to Burbank. That was my day in, day out. And I don't know, just didn't do anything for me, I don't think. It's a weird town. It was also a strange time. We were there in the 2008 writers' strike. Obviously, you might have been there too. That was a weird time to be in LA, particularly in that sort of studio, you know, that Burbank Studio City area. Just nothing was open. Like everyone just left. It was a weird time. We were still getting work because, you know, films had a longer lead time than TV, so like we were still working and doing things. But yeah, it was a strange time. I don't know if it's intentional, but you don't have stream category selected. Oh, I'm using Restream, Jammin'. So it's like I thought it would do that, but it hasn't done it. Thank you for letting me know. I'm just uncategorized. That's what we're doing here. Why would it do that? Music. There we go. Thank you for letting me know. Appreciate it. Ah, bloody Restream. Thank you, Jared. You're so kind. You're so kind to me. Arabian Romance is a bit like that, Jimmy. Yeah, it's got those sort of... what's that mode? Is it Dorian? I don't know. That whatever that mode is. That makes it sound a little bit more, I don't know, non-Western, at least. Well, why didn't you catch up with me from the hip? Jeez, man. Yeah, I'll Sherman Oaks. Do I have little like little short string things going on? Did I have symphonic motions loaded? Don't think I did. Why don't I? Catching up now. We are, man. We are. Oh, music? No, because of Alan Becker. That's awesome. Alan has introduced me to a lot of people. definitely. He has definitely got a big audience. I like using these like libraries that have like programmed short strings. There's something that they can do better than I can do if I program them myself. So that's kind of nice. Balinor, thanks. I will keep up. I'll keep up the work. I will try my best. I'm glad you like it though. I need to put out some more of those library compilations. I definitely do. I've got probably enough music to make another 5 of those albums. I haven't released. I mean, they're all released as singles, but I like putting out those compilations. They're a good way to like curate the library a little bit, to give it like a, you know, putting like tracks together, I guess. Because I do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of random stuff, don't I? Symphonic motions. Finishing your own album this week. Nice. Loaded work week next week, so that's awesome. Decompressing. Need it. You definitely need it. Sounds good. I look forward to it. Okay. Can we keep this going? Nope, it's not looped. It's not looped. Ding, 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 ding. Wanted to do a timpani roll. Something like that, anyway. So I might continue that piano on just for a few more bars, and then we'll figure out where we'll go from there. Because you don't want us repeating the same thing again. But we also want it to end soon. I don't want this track to go for too long. That's cool. A little bit more jazzy than I was expecting. So something's going to happen there. We'll modulate a little bit. Having fun at music, guys, for a project you're working on, just throwing it out there, but I need more info about how getting a music artist involved is going to work for your project. It's tough. It's not super easy. And to follow up with Brandon, do I do commissions? I do, but not at the moment. At the moment, I am fully booked. So I've got projects until next year. So I can't take on new stuff, which is unfortunate. But finding someone, I mean, there's a lot of composers out there, a lot of people making music. But it is, it can be a bit of a challenge, I guess, to find someone that's perfect for your project. But you can, it's a matter of, I guess, just doing a bit of research, finding people that you like. Often what happens in, certain industries that you can, if you ask someone to, it's always weird. Because it's always weird, like people, some people want to work for money, some people don't. Like there's all these sort of, people, like limits of what people want to do. If you're at a, sort of, I don't know what stage you are at with your, your projects. In terms of like reach and like if you're just starting out or if you're like you're an established filmmaker, animator, whatever it might be, that might dictate the kind of person you might be able to get. But that said, there's probably plenty of people who are just chomping at the bit to work with people. And so just, I guess, giving them a crack and seeing how that works. And if it doesn't work out, then you can, part ways and find someone else. But it's not easy. I've never been in that position where I'm finding someone to write the music, because I write the music. But I can't say it'd be an easy process, I suppose. Finding anyone to collaborate with can be a challenge, I guess. That's someone that you're happy to work with. I'm lucky that Alan has worked out really well for me. Alan is super easy to get on with. He's a very chill guy, so that hasn't been that hard at all, really. We're both pretty chill. Okay, I'm gonna have a quick bio break, guys. I'm gonna be right back. But I'll play what we've got so far. And I don't know, you can tell me how awful it is. What I need to do to change it. Or not. Just listen to it, enjoy. I'll be right back. So we'll get the bass going. I'm back! Ellis Barros, hello, 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 how are you doing? Thank you, Underblade. Can't add people who are watching on Twitch. Yes, that's true. You have to use the on-screen chat. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, styling isn't matters for you because it's mainly you hosting an in-game series. Okay, cool. A small community started up from the ground up, so it's not just you doing it alone. Glad to have a community that made since you started in September last year. That's great. That's really, really cool. Yeah, I guess, yeah, just finding someone that's willing and has, you know, a style that you that they do a lot. There's one thing is like one problem that I see coming up quite a lot is that you find a musician, find a composer, and it's that you like their music, but you want them to do something that they're not really super familiar with. So like, you know, you know, I do mostly orchestral music. That's the program that I do. That's my style. That's my vein. That's the thing that gets me going in the morning. But then asking me to do, you know, some sort of like Skrillex dubstep track, it's going to be a challenge for me. You know, I don't know how to do that. And that's like some, you know, that's a very extreme example, but like asking someone who's not super familiar with a style to make, you know, sort of make them do it, that can be tough, and can lead to like you not being super happy with the product and the composer getting a bit frustrated with it all. So it's one thing to keep in mind, I guess. Just finding someone that's actually appropriate for the thing you need to get done. Last one, Victim. Yeah, the Victim one was very emotional. Yes, there's a lot of vibes, a lot of emotional vibes we had to get out of that one in a very short space. That's fine. Zemai, how you doing? Love my music list to it with friends during role-playing parties. That's great. That's so cool. Thank you for using it. I appreciate it. How did I meet Alan? So Alan had used my music in like my library music in a few of his earlier videos. So I think there was like, I don't know, there's some you know, deep cuts on his channel that maybe not even there anymore. I don't know. There was one. Anyway, he's used my music in the past and he liked it, and he just reached out. He sent me an email, and at that time I wasn't doing much, so I was mostly working in science and saw this, like working with Alan, as an opportunity just to have a bit of fun, because I wasn't really focusing on music as a career at that point. So I was just doing my science thing, and so it was a bit of fun, and then it's grown. Like it's just gone from there, and it's been really fun. It was really easy to get in. So we started off with like doing the showdown AVA. Don't know what AVA, which number it was, but that was the first one we did, and it was like a trial run to see if it would work out. And it did, and the rest is history. Lincoln, how you going? I like to think that, Renz. I like to think that I contribute. Okie dokie. before the big slumber. Hey, Gyon Jay, welcome back. When's the next AVA episode out? Yeah, I think, sometime, I think. Very exciting. Thanks, Lincoln. Yeah, we have developed it a little bit. I feel like I'm not working as quickly as I probably could be, but you know, it's fine. Bleep. I don't know where we're going there. I don't know. Who knows? Drum's a little bit behind. Is it a little bit behind? Like it's a little slow. Where is the drum? Here it is. Damazis, that is me. I did write that track. Hey, go on. How's life? That's so cool, Brendan. That's really, really cool. Soothing, want to close your eyes and listen? Do, please do.
Kind of like this weird fourth, fifth thing going on. Don't want to get too bitey with the clarinet. That one song you made, you loved by the entire community, the Warhammer 40,000 community. Is that Legionnaire? Because that seems to be doing the rounds. Thanks, Cody Cricket. Yeah, I like using a lot of like those sort of, like a lot of that background stuff, that orchestration that goes on. It's the world building, right? It sort of makes the space that all these instruments inhabit. And I think that's what I think about anyway. Celadon, thank you so much for the $10. I have some ideas. Let's talk. Why not? Thank you so much. Okay, I've got an idea for where I might go next, but we'll leave that for a little bit. What's the time? Okay. No worry, Elizabeth. I hope it's been useful. I hope you're enjoying it. Try the cello. Down, 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 down. That will work, I think. I don't know, we're done. Let's just leave that for a moment. I promised myself I wouldn't do the next section next. Now. Wouldn't do it now. We can do it next. A lot of characters, Brendan. You might want themes. You might want themes for all of them. That could be a lot of fun. I like writing themes for characters, particularly when they're planned out. Like when I got an idea of what we're doing with them and where we're going. It's always good. No, this is Cakewalk Sonar. So it's like the latest iteration of, like, it's been around forever. Like, since the dawn of digital audio workstations, really. But I've been using it for over 20 years. In its various guises, but it's good. I like it. It's the same as, like, you know, it's Cubase, it's Ableton, it's Reaper, it's all those. It's same kind of thing, just a different package. Back up. It's kind of the vibe I'm going for, Geek. It's like that sort of, just that super homely, super nostalgic kind of village vibes. Yeah, C418 has that sort of vibe too, right? It has that really warm, almost, like, I feel like he infuses a lot of his, like, that nostalgia vibe into his work as well. That longing, that feeling like longing for home, that longing for something like that. His new stuff, he had he worked on a game, Wonder Stop, is it? Wonder Stop? I don't know. It's really good score though. Really like it. Got some pretty wholesome vibes. bit. Actually, no. This piece was inspired. I did an album with London Music Works. I did a whole album of Zelda arrangements. So it's kind of like taking themes from a whole bunch of games right back from the first one, and sort of reworking them to have that sort of I guess my idea was that to have them that Studio Ghibli vibe the whole way through. Like they had this sort of fantastical, uplifting, orchestral kind of vibe for the entire album. That was my goal, and so I was orchestrating in a way that everything felt very like placid and serene but it was great practice. It was really like interesting experiment because I haven't really done much like that in particular at that sort of particular orchestral vibe that was on that album, and so I haven't really done much for the library in that vein. So this is kind of my first foray into having something for the library that has it captures that warm home vibes that a lot of those Zelda scores have in a way. That sort of feeling of adventure, but also of homeliness and warmth and la la la. Thanks, Greg. Glad you like it. Glad you like the music. Really appreciate it. Not the musical motif you need for supposedly doing homework. What do you need for homework music? Is it like Lo-Fi Girl? Is that what everyone goes to now? Stutter Fox, how you doing, buddy? Okay. Good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm pretty good. It's a pretty busy week this week, but I'm alive so far. Oh, Geek, if only I could write Japanese jazz fusion. That'd be like so insane. That'd be amazing to have those skills. Oh. What I mean by having characters, I mean, if you've got a story arc, I was just thinking, if you have stories where you have recurring characters that develop over time, then having themes for the characters is a kind of fun idea, because you can help tell the story of the character changing over time by using the theme. pretty often, like commonly used in that sort of, you know, film scoring and all that sort of jazz. So something to think about. You don't have to. Obviously you don't have to, but sometimes a fun challenge for a composer to come up with a theme for characters. Reminds me of playing Breath of the Wild too much for homework. Oh no. Fair enough. I understand. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. Ah, okay. Goes down. Okay. Not necessarily origin story. It's just more of like music helps to tell your story. So it's not just there to fill space. Like there's usually a purpose for having music in something. So if you have like your audience associates a theme with a character, then they know that character's doing something. The character is the center of the story that you're telling at that point in the thing you're making, and just helps to frame whatever it is you're doing. So if you're trying to tell a story about a particular character and you have a theme that starts to develop over time, based on how the character develops over time, then you can sort of tell a more meaningful story. So a lot of what we do with Alan is, particularly episode by episode, there's usually a theme that we bring in that can be utilized again, as the episode goes, to sort of signify certain important points in the storytelling. And that can be a character theme, but it can also be just more of a theme to represent, some tragic event or some, I don't know, something meaningful that you want to sort of tell. So it depends on what you want to do. Yeah, as I said, you don't have to do this. It's not always a rule. There's no rules. There are no rules in filmmaking and all this sort of jazz, but something to think about if you want to do that, and if the composer's happy to do that. It's growing on you, gig. We can make it work. We can make it work, everyone. Okay, I might add a bit more percussion, like timpani hits maybe. Exactly, Brendan. Yeah.
Like with Victim's Motive, you made him feel like there was another villain at first, but I knew there was going to be another misunderstanding.
Exactly. Yeah. So it helps tell your story. Like that's the idea of, like, that's why you have music in there, I think. It helps a lot. What do I use for timpani? So I feel a bit embarrassed about sharing this, Beagle. But it's actually, so it's an East-West library. Oh, I don't care. It's an East-West library, but it's the old, super old East-West Symphonic Orchestra. So it's like, it's not the Hollywood Orchestra percussion, it's the very old, like the first big orchestral library they made. So it's very old. It's a very old timpani. But it's, I feel like it's still the best one. Like at least the ones that I have available to me. I used to have, when I was working in LA, the Project Sam, what's the orchestral or percussion library? I forget what it's called. But Project Sam had a good timpani, really good timpani. But I don't have that one. I don't have that library. And so the East-West one is really good. The Symphonic Orchestra one. Feel ashamed. I'm hoping that maybe I think what's it called? Performance Samples are bringing out an orchestral percussion library pretty soon-ish, I think, to go with the Pacific strings and whatnot. Maybe that'll be better. I have no idea. We'll find out, I suppose. We'll find out. Hey Yusuf, how you doing? Oh, that's awesome. It's awesome, Ben. I'm so happy to help you out. Storm Chaser too, very nice. Yeah, Museo's great too, Beagle, absolutely. Good, Brendan. Glad to help out. Were you frustrated with Museo? Oh no! They forced updating one of their choir libraries, and I had to refer back to their old recordings as the sounds changed. This happened to me too on a few things. Yeah, they're doing a lot of extra tweaking, right? It's not great. I think it happened to me on a piano. They have to go at least they keep some of the old versions in there. So at least you can revert back, but it's a bit frustrating. I agree. What free alternatives do you have for making music? Yeah, so in terms of I feel my sample libraries, for the DAW, for the actual thing that's running all the samples. As Enderblade said on Twitch, Reaper is a good option. It has a free trial, which I think is actually a free trial forever if you want it to be. So that's an option. But there's a lot of options out there for DAWs. It's hard to choose which one's the right one for you, because I don't know what will be the right one for you. But in terms of free samples, that can do orchestral sounds, there's actually a couple of options these days, which is nice. There was one that recently came out, which I really like, and I want to do a little challenge to see how well I can write with it. And just it is the Berlin Tools, a Berlin orchestra by Orchestral Tools. They have a free version. I think it was. Maybe I can find it for you. Well, no. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Orchestral Tools, but it's really good. Like, it's really pretty. It's pretty solid. It even has some legato patches in there, which is like pretty unheard of for free things. Where is it? Berlin Free. This is the one. Give this a go. I'll put this in Twitch chat as well, because we're talking about it. It's pretty nice. There's also the BBC Symphony Orchestra from Spitfire Audio. There's also a free version of that called the Discover, I think. And then there's also the lab stuff. All the lab stuff that Spitfire Audio does is all free, and it's great. There's all sorts of weird stuff in there, but great stuff. Really cool, interesting samples that I use still in my work. Even though they're free, I still use them, and they're great. Yeah. So there's a lot of good options these days, which is fantastic. Is it true that for art is never finished, only abandoned, or do you come to satisfaction with your works and finish them? I do finish them, Geek. It's rare that I don't have a track that I don't finish. I'm gonna get this chat back up again. There's a rare that there's a track that I don't finish. So mostly I make it work. But it's learning to like know also when to just, say enough is enough. Like, there's only so much you can get something to a point that's okay. Sometimes you do great. It's hard to know. Like, sometimes some tracks I'm like, they happen super easy. There's no friction whatsoever. They just come out of me. They program really easily. The strings and like the samples just seem to make it shine and make it sound amazing. And then sometimes it's like really hard work, like a real grind to get the track finished, because you don't know, something off is about it, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And you spend a lot of time like deconstructing and remixing and reorchestrating, and it's a pain. But I too tend to get there. Like, I feel like I do sort of buy into the, what's the phrase when you put too much time into something, you feel like you've got to get something out of it? Sunk cost fallacy. I sort of buy into that. But it helps me to produce stuff. Like, I put it out there. Like, and I think a big part of it is just accepting that sometimes tracks aren't as good as they can be, but you can't figure out what it is, and you just have to move on. And the beauty about the library, I feel like I can share things without the risk of it being like career ending. I'm going to put out something that's going to be like absolute shock. I never would do that, but like, there have been definitely tracks where I go, this isn't good enough. I'm not gonna finish this. This is done. It's been put in the bin. But I do tend to just push them out there. That's just the way it is. What's my favorite thing in nature and why? That's a really hard question, dude. Oh my gosh. I think so. I don't know if most of you probably don't know this, at least on those on YouTube. The guys on Twitch hear it all the time. But I have a doctorate. I have a PhD in soil science, and I used to work in forestry research in northern Sweden. So I was a soil, I guess the term would be soil biogeochemist. So I used to like study soil nitrogen dynamics in like pine forests, in boreal forests in northern Sweden. It was very cool. Very cool job. And a big part of those systems is fungal ecology. So a lot of that is like looking at how mycorrhizae, which are these sort of connections that fungi make with plant roots, how they influence all sorts of nutrient dynamics in soil. That whole system, man, like fungi forming these amazing symbioses with plant roots is pretty nuts, and it's pretty cool to see in action. And there's a lot of research in those labs doing that sort of work. That was really fun to be part of. So that was cool. That was very cool. So that's probably my favorite thing about nature. Just the weird things that fungi do. Yeah, you're right. And performance samples do have some cool free stuff, but you have to have Contact. You have to have the full version of Contact, which sucks. Yeah, you can call me Dr. Buckley Underblade. That's right, Dr. Scott Buckley. I have a lot of papers published. You can go read my science if you really want to. I'll put my Google Scholar in chat. Where's the thing? Keep on. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Google Scholar. So you can read my publications. Some of them you can, not all of them you can. You have to have. Some of them you have to have a subscription. Why does it wanna? No. There you go. This is me. This is me. But yeah. Science, guys. Science is cool. I don't speak Swedish. Jag talar inte svenska. That means I don't speak Swedish. I didn't learn Swedish. It was horrible. I've lived there my wife and I lived there for 5 years, and we didn't learn a lick of Swedish, really. It was a weird time. COVID was like one of those weird periods where things weren't really happening. So we wanted to, at the time we were ready to go and start learning Swedish. All the, programs to learn Swedish had just shut down, so it's like, okay, I guess we're not learning Swedish. Secretax, thank you. You're welcome, Lightweight. More songs like Into the Wild and Legionnaire. Okay, alright, I'll try my best. Yeah, I have a Google Scholar Beagle, you know. Why did I get into composing that? So I was in music first. So I ended up, I did a music degree back in 2002, 3, something like that. And then I ended up, I was doing films, I was working primarily for a production music library in Los Angeles. Doing stuff like trailers, film trailer pitches, and we got a few placements and everything. And I ended up moving over there to work in this studio for a year and a bit, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. It burnt me out. I was writing a lot of music that I just didn't like, and wasn't getting a lot of money at the time as well. So it was like we weren't in a good place. It was not enjoyable. I didn't like LA. Felt super homesick. I just burnt out. I was really burnt out. And I got to the point where music kind of just, I hated it. I hated music. Everything I wrote sounded like that stuff I was writing in LA. And so I ended up just walking away. I was like, I can't do this anymore. It makes me feel awful. It makes me feel kind of sick inside for some reason. So I ended up stopping music for many years, and ended up sort of floundering for a while, and decided I'm going to go back to uni and do something meaningful in my life. And I ended up becoming a scientist. So I did a Bachelor's Science, and then got really into it, and stuck around to do my PhD, and then worked for 5 years. You don't like LA either, yeah. I think it's. I feel like there's probably like everyone's either you love LA or you hate it. That was definitely the hate it kind of a thing. But yeah, and so I did science forever, and slowly, very very slowly, like the library was the thing that kind of got me back into music, because the thing I hated about LA, the thing I hated about the job that I had, and the things I was doing there was that it was all about making music that was valuable. You know, I had to put a price tag on everything, and like we were trying to, you know, make as much money as we can, and got to play these placements, blah 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 blah. It was a lot of pressure. Felt like it's like I don't know if this music's any good. You know, I don't care if it's good. I don't want it. I don't want to place a value on it. So the idea of the library was to turn it into something that, like, it was just me pushing music into the world without any sort of pretense as to, you know, whether you should pay for it as the person listening or person wanting to use it. You can decide if you want to pay, you know, but it was all about removing that barrier that I seem to have with the music. And so it turned into like this ability to be able to experiment, to be able to play with music again without that pressure of trying to make it work, make it pay, you know. And you know, 10, 15 years later, it's the behemoth that it is now. And I actually get to make a living from it, which is, you know, this is my job now. I don't do science anymore because the music it's grown so much that I need to focus on it because it's too much to do. So that's it. Yeah, and it's in a place, like I'm about a far better place. Like obviously I'm loving music now again, but it took a long time to get back here, I think, to a place where I'm comfortable again making music full time. So life is a spiral, guys. Like, don't ever think that you abandon something and it's going to be gone forever. You know, just go with life, go where it takes you, and see what happens. You know, because you never know what's going to happen. Seriously, I never thought, like, I failed maths and, you know, science in high school. Like, I was the kind of guy who was like, I'm never going to be a scientist. I don't give a damn about this stuff. Blah 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 blah. And you know, turns out I actually am a scientist and I can do that sort of stuff fine. So it's like all these things you know about yourself and your values. You know. You never know until you're challenged and have to think about things and move forward in new directions. It's all very exciting and all very scary, but you know, you get there. You all get there. Can music really be quantified? As in like pigeonholing? We're putting things in like genres. It's hard sometimes, I reckon. That's awesome, in the blade. Yeah, cool. I would prefer Dr. Buckley Underblade, actually. Yeah. No. It's nice to be able to use it occasionally. The honorific. Stand Design, how you doing? I'm good. I'm doing good. How are you doing? We're not getting much work done here today. Oh, so that movie that was the only way to be successful? No, I don't think that's so true anymore. I think there's a lot of people. It's very decentralized now, and there's lots of ways to make money in music if you're astute, if you look for it. Maybe you do start a fox, yeah. put the doctor in there. I mean, I would like to use them more. That'd be really nice. I like it when I get to, like, when you sign up to things, you know, and they ask you, like, are you a Mr. or a Mrs.? And sometimes they have doctor. And I get to put doctor on there. You know, it's worth it. Totally worth doing a PhD just so you can do that, guys. Turning into a live stream Q&A. It has BMX, yes. I'm not surprised. I don't know what I'm doing. Alan! How you doing, buddy? Thank you, Alan. And you've been a big part of that too, buddy. You have been a big part of that. Because I took you on, you know, in the middle of the whole science thing. And that was my fun side project. I work with Alan the animator. And then here we are. How many years later now? Crazy. And that's the thing, like doing trailer music in LA, you never get to do this kind of stuff. Never we get to do this kind of stuff. No one wants to place this. So this is like the joy of being able to write for the library, right? The flute I'm using is a Cinewinds flute. Oh, it's great. Yeah, Cinewinds Core from Museo. All the winds. All the winds are really good in Museo. I love them. Enjoy your lunch, Data Fox. I think I need to have lunch too. I think my wife will be back soon and we're gonna eat. So I probably should think about wrapping up. I thought we'd finish this today. You guys have been making me yap. Oh my god. Well, that's awesome, man. That's awesome, Alan. Back when you were a cheapo. Little transitional symbol. Mm-hmm. Nice to see how it's made. You always curious. Do you guys do like animation streams where you just like make stuff live on stream? I suppose you wouldn't, but I'd totally watch that. I don't know. Leave Alan alone, guys. He's just hanging. He's just chilling with us. He's just chilling. Sounds really cool. Thanks, Stanton Zion. Is the green bar you're editing volume? It's volume, yeah. So it's lots of volume going on. I got the mod wheel doing volume as well, but I kind of double it up, mostly because I want everything to really express. So I overly, it's like double expression, making it really a bit over the top. Never get anything done. No, I'm getting that same feeling today, Alan. Some days I get a lot of work done. Like, I think when I was in Sweden, I was doing a lot of streams, like 3 days a week. And it was actually, whilst I was working full time, it was really the only way I could actually get music done for the library, because kind of was like an accountability thing. Otherwise, I just come home and like just watch Netflix, you know, put on a game or something. You know, it's like streaming was like one of those things that kept me working and making music. But I don't know. These days, I just want to chat. Everyone just wants to chat with me now. Gongs are going a little bit hard. Rough Guitar Studio, how you doing? How's life? Yeah, that would be kind of fun, Alan. I better be a tough one too. That's awesome, Planet Planet. Decoherence is one of my favorite tracks. It's a very, very moody track. Very happy with it. What software are we using? We're using Cakewalk Sonar. So it's been around for a very, very long time, but I don't think it's gained the popularity of some of the other ones, like, you know, obviously FL Studio or Ableton or Cubase, whatever. But it's the same sort of thing. I've been using it for, you know, over 20 years, so I'm kind of stuck with it. So yeah, but it's good. I like it. Is that still free? So if I click on that, yeah, you can. You still get it. So this is like a. This is a. For those in the YouTube chat, this is like a free version of this. So I was curious whether they still had it, but they do. It's still there. You can still download it. And it's fine. I was using it right up until like maybe a month ago or a couple of weeks ago when I was starting to have some weird issues that I needed to resolve, and then it resolved by updating to the new version, which is a paid product. But if it's something you're interested in, you can give it a whirl. I don't know what I'm doing here. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. It's fine, Alan. I wouldn't stream if I didn't want people to interrupt me. So that's just how it goes. The latest Cakewalk, supposedly free, is a transition to the pay period. Yeah, it's used to use it. Normally, you have to look for the older version. Okay, so it's kind of there, but it's kind of not there. It's still beta, so this is like the new version of Cakewalk Sonar is still in beta, so I don't know how. Like, it seems fine. It seems pretty stable. Like, it fixed all the problems I was having, so it seems fine to me. So guys, I think I may have to stop. I think I may have to stop. I had to go eat food. It is lunchtime here in Australia. And that means that Scotty needs to eat. That's what my trainer tells me. Trainer tells me that I need to eat lots of food so that I get all my protein so that when we go to the gym, everything works properly. So I've got to go do the thing. But thank you for hanging out, everyone. Is this sonar? It's combined. Yes, it is. It's very good. I approve of it. But I have been using it for a long time, so I'm kind of biased. I'm kind of very biased. Okay, saving. Thank you, Alan. I will. I'll have good lunch. I think we're gonna have I don't know, I'm feeling a banh mi. I'm feeling a bit of Vietnamese. Might be good. There's some good places around here. We're spoiled for choice around the studio. Get to go and choose. Get those nutrients. Thank you, planet. Get those. What do they call it? Get those macros. Get those macros in you. I don't know. It's a bit crazy. Crazy times. But thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you being here and hanging out with me. I'm glad the YouTube thing is working. That makes me happy. I still need a few things I need to sort out to make the alerts work properly, I think. How close is it to be done, Nine? It's probably got another maybe 40 seconds to write, like an ending. It may develop like a tiny little bit to get there, but yeah, not too much longer. Oh god, not too much longer, and then we'll kind of clean it up a bit. Combine, thank you for the follow. So not too much longer, but I might finish this off screen. So next Monday we'll probably do something else. I might start something else, or I might find something that's already started, if that exists on my hard drive, and we'll see if we can crack that open and get that finished. But we'll see. Oh my gosh, why is everyone making so much noise? All right, it's my sign. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks. Thank you, Bored Human. I'll play us as we go. Play us out. But have a good one, guys. I hope you enjoy your week. I probably won't be able to stream again until Monday, so I got a lot of things to get done, unfortunately. But we'll talk soon. Okay, have a good one. Bye. I'll play the music. There we go. Bye.